everybody, welcome to the Black Sheep Props channel. I'm Steve and I'm here to teach you the tips, tools, techniques, and materials for building your very own super cool EVA foam props. Now in our last build we went action-adventure when we built an element blaster from Guardians of the Galaxy. And if you missed that build, we're going to include the link in the description below to our channel's homepage so you can go over there and check out Element Blaster or any of the other cool builds we have there. But for this build we're going to go, I don't know, it's a combination of video game, collectibles, and sports. So without further ado, Black Sheep Props would like to introduce you, the newest member of the family. That's right, dig it. It is the Hatsune Miku Racing Staff. Well, that's a mouthful. Actually, the collectible company that makes the cool collectible figures, Good Smile, sponsors an actual GT racing team, and their sponsor icon is Hatsune Miku, and she, in the collectible that Good Smile makes, she holds this super cool racing staff. So there you go. It's a combination of 3 different categories. Look at that thing. Super cool. We've got the number 10, the wreath around it, we've got the Good Smile logo, the 4 pistons, and the cool gold staff. Very cool and very easy, super fun build. So, in this episode, making an EVA foam Hatsune Miku Racing Staff Part 1, we're going to begin going step by step through how to make this cool thing. And we have a template for this also, so if you want to build along and build your very own racing staff, we're going to include the link in the description below to our storefront, so you can go and pick up a template if you want. So that's it. If you're ready to hit it, let's make something. Okay, here we go. We're going to begin our racing staff by bulking up some foam. We've got a 24mm and we've got an 18mm piece. That was actually made from 3 6mm pieces. This is left over from another build, and that's what we want. We want 1 3/4 inches thick, so we're going to cement these together. We're going to seal our foam just to tighten the surface for when we glue. You don't have to do this, but it seems to help the glue going down without it soaking in so much to the foam. Alright, there you go. You know the drill. Give it a few minutes. Once both sides dry, then it'll make contact. Alright, there we go. Now we're going to move over to the bandsaw and we're going to cut this out. Alright, check it out. Man, you gotta love that bandsaw. Man, nice 90-degree cuts all the way around. Now, we talk about this all the time. Your box cutter is totally long enough to do this cut, and you could easily do it. Alright, now we're gonna come in and we're gonna do our number 10 and our leaves. And we've got a 4mm piece of foam for the leaves, and then we're gonna build this 10 with multiple levels. So we're gonna need a 4 and a 6mm. Alright, now what we're going to do first is we're going to come in here and we're going to cut this inside area out because we want a little recess, alright? So we're going to come in here with our X-Acto knife and we're going to just go from corner to corner. Alright, there we go. That's it. Now we're going to cut the center of our 0 out. Now what's going to happen when we do that is this center area is going to be loose, so we got to hold on to that. Alright, now we got to hold on to this. We got to keep this piece, alright? Alright, there we go. Now this has got to go back into here, so we have to keep this.
don't kill yourself, but if you can stay within the lines, try to. Alright, there we go, not bad. We're going to line up with our Sharpie marks. Now this is a little bit flexible because we cut a lot of the middle of it out, so just make sure you take your time, line it up on all your Sharpie marks, which we did. Sweet! Alright, now come in and get this last piece down right inside your Sharpie mark and make sure you lay it down in the center, right like that. Alright, there we go. Now, because that's so thin, we'll have no problem cutting this out with our box cutter. So we just do all of our outside straight cuts like that. Keep your knife straight up. Just make sure you don't tip your knife if you can. Right there. Now we're going to come in with our X-Acto knife. We're going to go straight through. Just like that. Pretty simple. Start at the corner. Roll right through. Alright, now. Alright, there we go. Check it out. That is so cool. And this extra little piece of 4mm foam we kept, we're going to bring in here like this, and we're going to use it as a little support beam, just like that. Alright. Alright, just get a little bit on the edge right there. And then we're going to come in, and we're going to line it up flush with the bottom, just like that. And we're going to hold it there while it bonds. Now we're going to do the same thing on this side. Let's move our 0 out of the way. We don't want to get anything on there just yet. Okay, there we go. Alright, there we go. Now we've got a little support in there, which will help us when we stick it down. Okay, now we're going to come in with our 4mm leaves. And we're going to stand our knife up, and we're going to pivot right around the top of each leaf, like this. Alright, now this is just going to take time, and you want to be careful. And we're going to connect all of our corners. Alright, and we're going to stand our knife up so we can pivot around the ends just like that. See how you do that? Really easy. You see us do that all the time. That way you're kind of turning your knife, by standing it up, you're turning your knife into a scroll saw, is what you're kind of doing. Alright, there we go. Now be careful when you're pulling it apart. Sometimes there's some itty bitty tiny little pieces that are still connected in the corner, but you just take your time, pop it out like a puzzle piece. Whoa, look at that. That is crazy. Check that out. That is some really tight cutting, and you saw how easy that was. As long as you stand your knife straight up, you can pivot around corners really tight, just like a scroll saw. Alright, now that's going to come in and go in there like that. That is super cool. And it's alright, now we're going to get the whole surface covered just like that. And before it gets a chance to set up and dry, we want to come in and set it down right there, and right there, following the edge of our piece. Okay, just like that. Do a little piece at a time. And we're going to go right around our edge just like that. Hold it down while it bonds, and we've got one last little space left. Alright, now as you can tell, I'm wearing gloves because I do not like fooling around with super glue without gloves on. Because man, your fingers will stick together and you will be in a world of trouble. Very cool.
All right, now we have something really, really cool. As if that wasn't cool enough, check this out. All right, now we want to raise this up just a little bit, just a tiny bit. So what we're gonna do is this, is we're gonna come in with the inside pieces of our numbers, and look what they're gonna do. They're gonna sit right in here, and they're gonna become our risers like that. So we're gonna stick them there. That way when we turn it over and set it down, this will be our riser that lifts it up. But what we're thinking as we look at this is we want it a little bit higher than this, all right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come in with a thicker piece of foam and cut these to be perfect spacers to rise up our number 10. All right, we're gonna come in with a 6mm piece, all right? And we're gonna all right, there we go. It's floating up above like that. All right. We've got the cool little recess down in here. We get a shadow down there. That's nice. All right, now we're gonna come in with these pieces to make our flaming good smile head logo at the top of our staff. We've got 3, 4, 6, and 12mm, and we're going to be layering this thing up because we want a lot of recesses and little cavities, okay? So we're going to start with this 3mm piece first. All right, now we're going to come in with our sharpened brass tube. It's almost the perfect size for the eyes, but it's close enough. There we go, just like that. Now we're going to get a slightly smaller brass tube, and we're going to come in and we're going to poke out the ends. All right, just like that, goes right through. Okay, now we're going to come in and we're going to start at this edge right here of our circle. We're going to go through. Now we're going to come in and we're going to do the same thing at the bottom. All right, now we've got that done. So what we're gonna do is this, okay? We're gonna cut this piece out. Tighten up our foam a little bit before we glue. Give that a couple minutes. Let's get these. Now we're going to come in with this 4mm piece, just like that. Now we just line up where our Sharpie mark was. All right, now we're going to come back in with our template. Now we're going to take this over to the scroll saw and we're going to knock it out. All right, there we go. We used the bandsaw after all, not the scroll saw. All right, now what we're going to do is we are going to bring this in and we're going to cut out this flame out of this 6mm foam and we're going to attach it. But what we're going to do first is we're going to throw on our dust mask and we're going to just soften the edge of this with our Dremel. Alright, now this is what we talked about before. If you stand your knife straight up, you'll be using the smallest piece of the tip of the blade, and that way you can pivot it just like a scroll saw. See that? We're just spinning the foam with our knife standing up. Alright. Whoa! Look at that!
Alright, so we're going to come down here, we're going to make a mark over here and over here. Alright, so we know we've got our mark here and here, which means we have to cement right back here. Alright, let's get our heat gun out. We're going to tighten this up because we dremeled it and sanded it, and we're going to tighten it up for gluing as well. And we're going to lay it down flush with the back all the way around. Alright, now this is going to come in and go right on here just like this. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a little base for this to sit in. Alright, and the way we're going to do that is we're going to take our template, because that's the perfect shape of the outside of our head. Alright, here's a 12mm piece of foam. Alright, so we're going to come in, draw our template. Alright, so now we know that the head is going to sit right in there perfectly. And we probably only need it like the width of this ruler. So we're going to come in and go like this. Just like color. Flush with our edge, just like that and that. There we go. There we go. Here and here and here. Line it up flush with the front of our piece, like that. Holy cow, that's neat. Alright, now, even though this is solid, what we're going to probably do is we're probably going to put a little piece back here just for some strength, alright? Alright, here's a 1-inch thick piece of foam. Alright, we got a straight front, a straight bottom, and now we're going to cut a angle at the back. Okay, we don't need a template for this, we're just kind of making it up as we go. Now, slice that off, and now we got a wedge here. We're gonna Alright, simple. Now we're going to push this forward so we can get this down as close to the base as possible, which we did. Now we can push this up against here. Alright, so we made good contact down here at the base, which we wanted, and we made contact up against the back of here. Nice! Alright, we're going to start building our 4 pistons, and it's really easy, but we just have to repeat a lot of stuff. So we've got these 24mm pieces, these 4 right here, and we've got these 36mm pieces. So what we're going to do is we are going to cut these out on the scroll saw. Alright, there we go. We've got all 4 of our 24mm pieces cut out and all 4 of our 36mm pieces cut out on the scroll saw. Alright, so what we're going to do first is this. Okay, we're going to take this top section, the 24mm, and we need to bevel the edge. Alright, so we're going to make some marks and then we're going to bevel it. Okay, there we go. We've got our 2 lines marked. Now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be shaving off this edge all the way around so that it's beveled. Alright, and then we're going to go from this line to this line. Now what we can do to get started is we can come in here like this, and we can take off, you need to be very careful, but we're going to take off a bunch of the corner just to make our life easier. Alright. And we're shaving the edge off just like that. And if we wanted, we could even go further. If we want to come in and get as close to those lines as possible, and take our time and saw through like that, All right, there we go. We've got it mostly sculpted out. Now we can start shaping it down. Okay, now we have our dust mask on, we have our Dremel out. We're gonna come in with our super rough bit and we're gonna take a bunch of this off. All right, look at that. Nice. The rough bit took off all of that hacked up knife mark, okay? Now we're gonna take the rough bit out and we're gonna come in with our smooth bit and we're gonna shape this real nice from line to line. All right, there we go. Look. All right, now we're gonna come in with these three and we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna draw our side line. We're gonna cut most of the corner off with a knife, come in with the beast and tear off most of it, and then come in and smooth it out. All right, there we go. There's all four. Man, those turned out sweet. Now we're gonna come in with our 320 sanding stick. All right, there we go, all sealed. Those are totally awesome. Check that out, really nice. Really, really nice. All right, now we're gonna bring these 36s in along with these, okay? We're gonna layer these up. We've got 3mm pieces, and we're gonna cut out this little window, just like that. All right, there we go. That easy. And we're just gonna do that to all these. All right, there we go. There's all four of our pieces cut out. All right, now what we're gonna be doing is sticking them onto here, okay? And you can ignore these circles. We have to draw those after we stick these down, all right? All right, there we go. All right, there we go. We're gonna do two at a time. Give it a couple. Okay, now we're gonna leave one end up while we line the bottom edge of this one side. There we go. All right, just like that. Now we're gonna do these two. All right, there we go. There's all four. Now we're gonna come in with our X-Acto knife. There we go. Just like that. Now let's do the other three. All right, there's all four cut out. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna measure. We're gonna do a test measure. So we're gonna come around. We're going to mark what looks like the center of the back, which is right here. All right. Use our guideline on our cutting mat. We're going to line everything up and we're going to cut it all out with one cut. All right, there we go. We're going to come around and we are going to lay down just like that. We're going to make our mark, which is probably right about here. A mark on all four. Straight through and straight through. All right, there we go. All right, now we're going to line up with the top of our piece, just like this. All right, see that? Get a nice flush edge lined up. All right, here we go. We're going to come in here. We're going to line up our our edge just like that. Get our seam together perfectly. Oh, look at that. That is nice. There we go. Look at that. Perfect seam. And then we're going to put it down just like that. All right, that seam is crazy tight. Look at that. And now we're going to come in with our top piece and attach it, and look at what we get.
All right, there we go. You saw it. Really easy stuff. We assembled the whole middle section, the number 10, the wreath, the Good Smile logo. You saw how we did what we usually do, which is a lot of layering up and then cutting out to reveal our piece, which we did in here for the 10, we did here in the logo. And you also saw how we are a good portion of the way through our pistons. And super easy stuff, man. You can totally nail this. So that pretty much concludes making an EVA foam Hatsune Miku Racing Staff Part 1. Hope you liked it. If you did, give us a like, share us with a friend, and subscribe to this channel. And together we're going to go step by step through a lot more super cool builds so that you get the props you deserve. Thanks for coming. See you next time.